Boston Eats. I'm Sarah Kleinman here on Newbury Street in the heart of Boston's shopping district. We are here at the Cafeteria. I'm here with my friend Kate. We're going to get Sunday brunch. I'm excited to try the place. Let's head in.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm excited and the menu looks great.
The menu is big but not overwhelming. There's a smell in the place that I cannot place yet. It's not food. It's a different kind of smell. It's also quiet here, which is making it a little bit uncomfortable. A rumor that I heard was that at night this place becomes like a club, like a booming club, which I'm happy that we're not here at night. But I can sort of hear hints of that in the music options, which is a little techno.
First we're ordering cocktails and we're going with the mimosa and the lilosa. The lilosa is fresh grapefruit with Prosecco and mimosa is classic orange juice with Prosecco. We're also getting the beef carpaccio with arugula, which has capers, horseradish, lemon, and extra virgin olive oil. We're having French toast with fresh fruit and whipped maple cream. We're also going with the truffled scrambled eggs, which is served on bruschetta and topped with arugula.
The carpaccio came with this mound of arugula on top, and sprinkled all over it was sort of this like very kind of coarse salt.
It's kind of got a first flavor and a second flavor. I tasted the arugula first, sort of the peppery green, and then I tasted that really tender, very thin. It's like the best part of a piece of steak, the part that's like still a little pink. It's all pink.
We have the accelerator here. It's so intense. Oftentimes the truffle oil it can be very offensive actually. Like, I mean, if you don't like it, it can feel that way. And if you like it, I think it can just be really intense. And this is, if it's there at all, is very subtle. I always think of bruschetta as like an appetizer that's the hard, crusty bread with like some sort of tomato situation on top. One of the main things that happens to me when somebody serves bruschetta at their party, like as a past hors d'oeuvre, I'm like, sweet, bruschetta, yum, how could this be bad? But I go home with like crazy cuts all over my mouth, the top of my mouth, because that crust is freaking hard. I was pleasantly surprised to find that this bread is not nearly as hard.
So we have switched plates, and I'm now trying for the first time the truffled scrambled eggs, which on first pass tasted a little greasy to me and potentially needed salt. So we stopped our very attentive waiter, and he brought over salt from a different table. And it's a little dirty. The eggs are actually quite delicious. They're very fluffy. And I feel like it tastes a little bit overly oiled. So it's kind of slimy. The taste, though, kind of makes up for it. I think it tastes good. It's sort of a subtle taste. I appear to not be able to stop eating it, which I think is a good sign. The slime factor is a little bit intense for me.
The French toast is fine. It's supposed to come with maple whipped cream as opposed to maple syrup. And I taste whipped cream. I do not taste maple. Maybe it's more subtle than my amateur taste buds can recognize. It really is kind of melt in your mouth, the middle of the French toast. So that I really like.
I don't taste any maple at all. One thing that I did like was the presentation. There was fruit that sort of was displayed over the top of it, which was delicious. I enjoy eating the French toast with the fruit. And the French toast itself, without the maple cream, is actually quite delicious. It's very light and fluffy and eggy, which I like.
There are just no real words to describe a delicious piece of cooked sausage. How is anyone a vegetarian? Welcome to the final scores portion of this episode of Boston Eats. Kate and I actually admittedly forgot to do the final scores for Boston Eats when we were filming at the Cafeteria, so now we are at a Citibank in Chinatown.
Okay, so my favorite thing that I had was the lilosa, which was the grapefruit juice with champagne. That was delicious. I enjoyed the carpaccio. The scrambled eggs, I recall being slightly slimy. And the French toast was delicious, but it wasn't outstanding. So my final score for Cafeteria on Newbury Street would be 4 out of 5 cafeteria trays.
In terms of pros, I would say, honestly, the main pros that I can recall were the conscientiousness. That's a word, right?
Yes.
The conscientiousness of the waiter, though a con would be, I definitely think he went to a rave the night before.
That's not a pro.
No. The accelerator, love that. And the fact that there was no wait to get in. We like cruised right in. It was not very crowded at all. In fact, not crowded enough, I would say, actually. So in fact, that's a little bit of a pro and con, because I felt like everyone in the restaurant could hear what we were saying, and I didn't like that. Everything else I felt was kind of mediocre, and I thought the food was okay. And because of that, I feel like I'm gonna go right down the middle with it. I'm gonna give Cafeteria on Newbury Street a 2.5 out of 5 strobe lights. Listen, if you're on Newbury Street, it's a Sunday morning, I would say if you go to Cafeteria, get the mimosa. But there are a lot of other great restaurants to go to down there.